People with high uric acid can eat corn? Doctors remind, if you want to lower uric acid, it is recommended to eat these foods often. Have you ever heard of this saying, people with high uric acid can't eat corn? At first glance, this sentence seems to make sense. But when you think about it carefully, it feels strange. How can corn, a seemingly healthy and common coarse grain, become a taboo for people with high uric acid? With the improvement of living standards, hyperuricemia has become an invisible problem for more and more people. Data shows that the number of people with high uric acid in my country exceeds 100 million, and many of them are still suffering from repeated attacks of gout. When many people hear the three words high uric acid, their first reaction is there a bunch of things that can't be eaten again? Indeed, controlling diet is the key to controlling uric acid. But not all rumors are reliable. Some foods are blamed, while some things that should really be avoided are ignored. Today we will uncover the truth about corn and uric acid and see whether it is a friend or an enemy. At the same time, we will also tell you that doctors really recommend that people with high uric acid eat 4 kinds of food, which are healthy and delicious, and can also help relieve the troubles caused by uric acid. Watch the end of the video. You will gain a clear high uric acid diet guide, 4 good helpers for lowering uric acid recommended by doctors, and practical suggestions to avoid dietary misunderstandings. If you have high uric acid yourself, or your family and friends are worried about gout, then you must watch this video to the end. So, what is uric acid? Why does it increase? Simply put, uric acid is a waste product produced by our body after metabolizing purine. Purine is a substance widely found in our food, especially high purine foods such as animal offal, seafood, beer, thick soup, and red meat. Our bodies also synthesizes some purines. Under normal circumstances, uric acid is metabolized by the kidneys and excreted from the urine, but if purine intake is too much, uric acid is overproduced, or the kidney excretion function is not good, then uric acid will accumulate in the blood, leading to an increase in blood uric acid levels, which is the so-called hyperuricemia. So what are the harms of high uric acid? 1. Gout. Once uric acid exceeds the standard, the most typical consequence is gout. Uric acid will form urate crystals in the joints, just like glass slag, which will penetrate into the joints, causing redness, swelling, and severe pain. It often occurs suddenly in the middle of the night. In severe cases, even the bed sheets will hurt. 2. Kidney damage. Uric acid may also form crystals in the kidneys, causing kidney stones, nephritis, and even renal failure. Many patients with high uric acid are only found to have problems because their kidneys can't bear it anymore. 3. Increased risk of cardiovascular and cerebrovascular diseases. Studies have found that long-term high uric acid is also related to chronic diseases such as hypertension, arteriosclerosis, coronary heart disease, and stroke. It can be said that it is a chronic health killer. 4. Concurrent metabolic syndrome. People with high uric acid often have metabolic problems such as obesity, fatty liver, and diabetes. These problems affect each other and form a vicious cycle. Therefore, high uric acid is by no means a trivial matter. It not only makes you eat poorly and sleep poorly, but may also quietly damage your kidneys and vascular system. The most terrifying thing is, there are almost no obvious symptoms of high uric acid in the early stages. Many people wait until the first gout attack before realizing the seriousness of the problem. If you don't pay attention to it at this time, it will often recur and gradually worsen. So what is the good news? High uric acid can be controlled through a reasonable diet and lifestyle intervention, and some people can even restore uric acid to normal without taking medicine. So we have to solve the problem from the source, especially in diet. If we do it right, uric acid can really be reduced. Next, let's start with a question that everyone is concerned about. Can people with high uric acid eat corn? Many people hear that uric acid is high, and the first action is to start checking the taboo list. At this time, Some versions of the list clearly stated, if you have high uric acid, you cannot eat corn. So, corn was included in the high-risk list, and many people dared not even touch it. But the question is, does corn really increase uric acid? Let's dismantle this statement to see if it is rumor. First of all, the purine content of corn is actually very low. The key to judging whether a food will cause an increase in uric acid is to look at its purine content. According to the Chinese food composition table, the purine content of corn is about 25 mg/100g, which is a low purine food. The standard for low purine is less than 50 mg of purine per 100 grams of food. And high purine foods such as animal offal and seafood usually have a content of 100,300 mg/100g, or even higher. So, from the perspective of purine, corn is a safe food. Secondly, the nutritional value of corn is not low. Corn not only does not increase uric acid, but also has many benefits. Rich in dietary fiber, it is good for intestinal health and can also delay purine absorption. Contains B vitamins, vitamin E, and lutein, which protects vision and the nervous system. It is a low-fat, low-sugar, low-purine source of carbohydrates, suitable for replacing refined white rice and flour. Moreover, compared with high glycemic staple foods such as refined rice and white bread, corn has a lower glycemic index, which is helpful for weight control and improving metabolism. So, why is there a misunderstanding that corn cannot be eaten? It may be because corn is a coarse grain. Some people have poor stomachs and are prone to bloating or indigestion when they eat too much, which is mistakenly considered bad. In order to attract traffic, some commercial content and short videos put many common foods on the blacklist, which is easy to mislead the public. In some special cases, such as some corn products such as high fructose corn syrup, corn fried products, and corn flavored snacks, they are indeed unhealthy. But this is completely different from ordinary steamed corn and corn porridge. Next, let's talk about how people with high uric acid can eat corn. You can eat it in moderation every day, such as a boiled corn about 100 grams as part of the staple food to replace refined rice and flour. Corn kernels, cornmeal, corn porridge, and corn cakes can all be appropriately selected. But be careful not to add too much oil and sugar. Corn silk can also be boiled in water, which has a certain diuretic effect and helps the excretion of uric acid, and is suitable for occasional drinking. In general, people with high uric acid are not unable to eat corn, but to eat the right corn, choose the right food and eat it in a reasonable way. And corn is actually a good helper to control uric acid. After explaining the truth about corn, let's move on to the part that everyone is most concerned about. What are the for-good foods recommended by doctors that can help lower uric acid? What are their unique effects? Don't go away, the exciting content will start soon. The first fruit is cherry, a natural acid-lowering drug that is sweet and beneficial. You may not have thought that there is also a uric acid-lowering champion in the fruit world. That is cherry. Don't be fooled by its small size, rosy color and sweet taste. But it is not an ordinary fruit. Studies have found that cherries contain a large amount of anthocyanins, a natural antioxidant that can inhibiting the production of uric acid, reduced inflammatory response, helps joints expel uric acid crystals, and help relieve the redness, swelling and pain during gout attacks. What does the authoritative research say? A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition pointed out, people who eat more than 10 cherries a day can reduce the risk of gout attacks by about 35%. And if you control your diet or take uric acid lowering drugs while eating cherries, the attack rate can be reduced by more than 75%. In other words, cherries not only have a preventive effect, but also can assist in treatment. How to eat cherries effectively? Eat 10 to 15 cherries each time, and it is best to keep them fresh. If it is not cherry season, you can also choose frozen cherries and cherry juice sugar-free. Don't use candied cherries or canned cherries as substitutes, as these are high in sugar and are not good for metabolism. Note that diabetics should not eat a lot of them, and should consult a doctor before making a judgment. Who are cherries suitable for? People with high uric acid but have not yet suffered from gout. People who have already had gout attacks and hope to reduce the frequency of recurrence. At the same time, the antioxidant effect of cherries is also very suitable for middle-aged and elderly people with cardiovascular risks. Tip: although cherries are good, it is not recommended to eat a pound at a time. The key is to eat them in moderation and regularly. The second type of uric acid lowering food recommended by doctors: low-fat dairy products. A white nutrient treasure house that excretes acid and protects bones. Many people think that milk is a hair-raising food and worry that drinking milk will cause gout. But in fact, doctors recommend that patients with high uric acid drink more low-fat dairy products. Why do you say that? Let's take a look together. Why can low-fat dairy products reduce uric acid? First, the purine content of dairy products such as milk and yogurt is very low and will hardly cause an increase in uric acid. Second, low-fat dairy products are rich in whey protein, can promote the excretion of uric acid from the kidneys. Calcium and vitamin D help strengthen bones and resist bone and joint damage caused by uric acid deposition. At the same time, dairy products can also provide high-quality protein, which can appropriately replace red meat and reduce the body's purine burden. Many international studies have shown that daily intake of an appropriate amount of low-fat or skimmed dairy products can help maintain uric acid at a normal level and reduce the risk of gout attacks. For example, the American College of Rheumatology recommends patients with gout or high uric acid should drink 1 to 2 servings of low-fat dairy products, such as skim milk and low-fat yogurt, every day. How to correctly choose and consume low-fat dairy products? Doctors recommend skim or low-fat milk, low-sugar yogurt, original sugar-free Greek yogurt, higher protein, not recommended, whole milk, high sugar-flavored yogurt, milk tea, especially those with creamer, high-fat dairy products such as cheese, condensed milk, and cream. Remember one sentence: choose low-fat instead of high sugar and high fat. So, how to match dairy products better? Have a glass of low-fat milk for breakfast with whole wheat bread or eggs. Have a glass of low-sugar yogurt after meals or as a snack in the afternoon to supplement protein. Use milk instead of coconut milk and cream when cooking to reduce saturated fat intake. It is particularly important to note that people with lactose intolerance can choose lactose-free milk and plant milks such as soy milk. Although plant milk cannot lower uric acid, it will not increase it, so it is a good substitute. For people with kidney disease or renal insufficiency, protein intake must be controlled according to doctor's advice. In short, milk is not a hair-raising food, but a good helper for diuresis and acid excretion. Choose the right milk and drink it wisely. It can reduce uric acid and supplement nutrition. Next, let's talk about the third uric acid lowering food: cucumber. A simple and practical daily ingredient. A refreshing and acid-removing natural diuretic. When it comes to lowering uric acid, many people's first reaction is can't eat this, can't eat that. But in fact, there are many treasure ingredients for lowering uric acid in the daily vegetables around us, including cucumber. 3 major uric acid lowering advantages of cucumber. Cucumber is a very suitable vegetable for people with high uric acid for 3 reasons. 1. Extremely high water content. Diuretic and fast acid removal. The water content of cucumber is as high as more than 96%, which is a veritable vegetable in water. Drinking more water helps to excrete uric acid, and eating cucumbers can also play a similar role as food to replenish water, improve the body's metabolic efficiency, and allows uric acid to be excreted faster through urine. 2. Almost no purine. No matter how much you eat, you can rest assured, according to the Chinese food composition table, the purine content of cucumbers is extremely low, almost negligible. As a low-calorie, low-sugar, and low-purine vegetables, it is very suitable for replacing high-calorie, high-fat snacks, especially for people who want to control their weight. 3. Rich in potassium. Assisting uric acid metabolism. Potassium can help the kidneys eliminate excess uric acid and sodium ions. Helps balance body fluids and protect kidney function. The potassium content in cucumbers ranks among the best among vegetables, and it could be called an acid-removing assistant. How to eat cucumbers most nourishingly. Cold and raw. Simply sliced. Add a little vinegar and mashed garlic. It is an appetizer. Add yogurt juice, cucumber plus low-sugar yogurt plus mint. Make an acid-removing metabolic drink. Paired with protein, such as mixed chicken breast and mixed tofu. It is both low-fat and nutritionally balanced. It is not recommended to pickle cucumbers. The sodium content of pickles is too high, which is not conducive to uric acid control. Who is cucumber suitable for? For young people with high uric acid but not serious. Eating cucumbers on a daily basis can help control weight and assist in acid excretion. Patients in the remission and recovery stages of gout can use cucumbers to replace high-fat and high-salt foods. People who eat a lot and love to eat midnight snacks may wish to eat some cucumbers as a midnight snack to occupy the stomach, which is both refreshing and burn-free. Special reminder to everyone. Although cucumbers are good, eating a lot on an empty stomach can easily cause abdominal distension, and people with cold constitutions should not eat too much. People with poor stomachs can blanch them with hot water or stir-fry them before eating. In general, cucumbers are a daily companion for people with high uric acid. Eat more and eat less meat. Your body will be relaxed, and uric acid can slowly drop. Next we will talk about the fourth type of uric acid lowering food recommended by doctors, beans, especially mung beans, peas, and soy products, which is a category that everyone often has questions about. When many people hear about beans, their first reaction is, isn't it said that beans have high purine? Aren't people with high uric acid not allowed to eat them? This statement is only half right, and it is easy for people to miss the potential of beans to lower uric acid. We must make it clear that beans are not equal to the minefield of gout. Different beans and different ways of eating have very different effects. First of all, beans are not all high in purine. Many of them are actually very friendly. Let's take a look at a few sets of data unit. MG100G. Mung beans cooked purine content, about 20 to 25, belongs to low purine food. Purine content of peas fresh, about 45, still belongs to the low purine category. Soybeans dry, about 70 to 75, purine is slightly high, but it is okay to eat it reasonably. Tofu, soy milk, bean skin and other products, purine is between 30 to 40, safer. Here comes the point. The processed soybean products have greatly reduced purine, which is more suitable for people with high uric acid. Secondly, beans have an invisible contribution to lowering uric acid. The plant protein in beans not only provides high-quality nutrition, but also helps replacing high purine animal proteins such as pork, beef, etc., to reduce the source of uric acid. Contains rich dietary fiber and B vitamins, which helps stabilize blood sugar and reduce metabolic burden. Studies have shown that beans are rich in polyphenols, which have certain effects on anti-inflammatory, antioxidant and kidney protection. In other words, instead of eating meat, it is better to eat beans, which is more friendly to uric acid. Which beans are most recommended? Mung beans, clearing heat and promoting diuresis. Suitable for cooking porridge and soup. Drinking mung bean soup in summer can eliminate acid and relieve heat. Peas, contains high dietary fiber. Suitable for cooking or cooking soup. Soybean products, tofu, dried bean curd, bean skin, tofu brain, soy milk, can be eaten in moderation. Black beans, have a slight diuretic effect, rich in anthocyanins, and are also suitable for cooking porridge or stewing soup. Note: sprouted beans such as bean sprouts have lower purines and are more suitable for daily consumption. Finally, let's talk about the unrecommended ways to eat beans. Dry fried soybeans, purine rises instead of falling, and it is difficult to digest. Processed bean snacks, dried bean curd, dried bean curd with spicy, sugar, and flavoring, high sodium, high fat, large amounts of one-time intake. For example, a bowl of stewed dishes made entirely of beans can easily increase the burden on the stomach. What is the most reasonable combination? Drink soy milk for breakfast instead of milk or with whole wheat staple foods. Eat tofu for lunch and pair it with vegetables, which is a light burden and high nutrition combination. A small amount of mung bean porridge for dinner, light and dehumidifying, is also beneficial to evening metabolism. In short, beans are not a gout forbidden zone, but a plant protein treasure house for people with high uric acid. Choose the right beans and eat them cleverly to help you keep uric acid steady. So far, the 4 recommended uric acid lowering foods have been introduced. We've talked about the misunderstandings of corn in detail, and also counted 4 acid-lowering foods that are very friendly to uric acid. Now, let's systematically sort out how, what, and what should people with high uric acid eat in their daily diet. If you write down this part of the advice carefully, I believe it will help you stay away from gout and the trouble of repeated attacks. First, master the 3 principles of purine control. 1. Low purine principle. Eat the right staple foods and stay away from high-risk meat. When choosing staple foods, choose coarse grains as the main food and white rice as the supplement. For example, corn, oats, sweet potatoes, brown rice, etc. Eat less or no high purine foods, animal offal, seafood, hot pot soup base, thick broth, beer. Control the total amount of meat, no more than 100 grams per day. Choose skinless chicken breast. Rabbit meat, lean pork is better. 2. High water principle. Drinking more water is a natural medicine. Ensure at least 2,000 milliliters of water intake every day. It is recommended to drink warm water, light tea, cucumber water, corn silk water. Maintain sufficient urine volume every day to help uric acid excretion. Light yellow color is appropriate. 3. Low fat and low sugar principle. Control your mouth and control fat. Elevated uric acid is often accompanied by metabolic syndrome, obesity, fatty liver, high blood lipids. Control the intake of high sugar drinks, desserts, and fried foods, especially high fructose drinks such as cola, milk tea, fruit juice drinks. Eat less midnight snacks, mainly light dinner, and controlling weight itself is an effective means of lowering uric acid. Second, common dietary misunderstandings should be avoided. Myth 1. Beans cannot be eaten. As mentioned earlier, most soy products are safe. Soybeans are high in raw materials, but tofu, soy milk, mung beans, and peas are all low purine foods and can be eaten in moderation. Myth 2. Fruits can be eaten with confidence. Not all fruits are suitable. High fructose fruits such as grapes, lychees, watermelons, and dates will promote purine metabolism disorders, and it is recommended to control the amount. It is recommended to eat low sugar and high antioxidant fruits such as cherries, grapefruits, kiwis, strawberries, and blueberries. Myth 3. Uric acid can be lowered by drugs alone. Drugs are important, but dietary management is the key to long-term control. Long-term dependence on drugs and failure to change lifestyle will only cause the disease to recur or even worsen. Myth 4. If gout does not occur, you don't need to worry about uric acid. High uric acid does not mean no problem. Deposition in the body is a chronic injury, especially to the kidneys and joints. To achieve prevention before illness, don't wait until gout strikes before regretting it. Having said so much, let's summarize it in the end. It's not that you can't eat if you have high uric acid, but you have to eat scientifically and carefully. Today, we not only broke the rumor that corn can't be eaten, but also told you which foods are helpful for uric acid. Instead of being afraid of everything, it's better to learn eating is a cure. If you really control your mouth, move your legs, and drink the right water, uric acid will slowly drop. If you think today's video is helpful, please like and forward it to more friends. Let's eat with peace of mind and stay away from gout.